Hi, my name is Dr. Natalie Roberts. So I'm an emergency doctor and the executive director of Doctors Without Borders, Médecins Sans Frontières, or MSF in the UK. MSF is an independent medical humanitarian organization who provide medical care to people affected by conflict and violence, epidemics, and disasters. We also speak out about what we witness and experience. We've been working in Palestine since 1989. We currently have over 1,000 Palestinian and 40 international staff working in hospitals, clinics, and other facilities in Gaza. I'm going to outline here why we believe genocide is happening in Gaza and how we have tried to alert the UK government about that. Firstly, we are witnessing mass deliberate harm of civilians through killing and injury. The entire population of the Gaza Strip has endured relentless bombardment by Israeli forces for nearly 2 years. They are attacked by Israeli airstrikes, drones, and tanks. Since October 2023, Israeli forces have killed at least 63,000 people, over 18,000 of them children, and a further 150,000 people have been wounded. An estimated 44,000 children are now orphaned in Gaza. These numbers don't begin to cover the full horror, given the number of people missing and yet to be accounted for. This includes Reem Abdulebdeh, a physiotherapist and a member of the board of MSF UK, who we believe was killed alongside her parents and siblings in their house in Khan Younis in December 2023, when the area came under a massive Israeli ground and air assault. The bodies of her mother and sister were eventually recovered from the rubble in February 2024, but Reem's body has never been found. Reem is one of 12 Palestinian MSF colleagues who have been killed by Israeli forces in Gaza since October 2023. There is no safe space in Gaza today, and Israel's indiscriminate military assault across the entire strip demonstrates that it considers the whole population as a legitimate target. Israeli military actions have repeatedly targeted civilians, with attacks leaving entire neighborhoods in ruins and families wiped out. Since June of this year, we have seen a new method of orchestrating the mass killing of Palestinians: the Israeli and US-led militarized food distribution system known as the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, or GHF. There is nothing humanitarian about the GHF. Distributions at GHF sites are accompanied by extreme levels of violence and killings of Palestinian men, women, and children who have gone to the sites in the hope of receiving food, only to come under fire from Israeli soldiers. MSF medical teams are treating people with gunshot wounds, barbed wire lacerations, and crush injuries from stampedes sustained whilst trying to receive aid at these GHF distribution sites. Between the 7th of June and the 24th of July this year, in just 2 of our facilities in Gaza, we received 1,380 injured individuals and 28 dead bodies from 2 GHF distribution sites. This represents only a fraction of the total number of people killed and injured at these sites. During that same period, the Ministry of Health in Gaza reported that more than 1,000 people were killed and 7,200 injured while attempting to collect aid. One of them was our colleague, Abdullah Hamad, who was killed on 3rd of July, along with at least 16 people, when they were targeted without warning by Israeli forces as they waited to collect flour from an aid truck in Khan Younis. Secondly, we are witnessing deliberate mass displacement of the population and the destruction and targeting of the infrastructure essential to support life in Gaza. The IDF has forcibly displaced 2 million Palestinians in Gaza, often giving them only a few hours to evacuate if they receive any warning at all. Gaza, which is smaller than the Isle of Wight, now sees 87% of its 2 million residents crammed into just 12% of its territory, primarily in Al-Mawasi, which is an area no larger than Richmond Park in London. People are not given sufficient time to move safely. After countless displacements, many have run out of money and can no longer afford to relocate, and anyway, there is nowhere for them to relocate to. This week, Nasser Hospital in Khan Younis, where MSF teams are working, received the dead bodies of at least 9 people, including 5 children, who were killed while trying to collect water in Al-Mawasi, which is the area of Gaza that is supposedly designated as a safe zone. All of our MSF colleagues have been displaced multiple times. My colleague, Dr. Mohammed Abubagazib, told us, Before she died, my mother told me death can sometimes be a relief. I didn't understand her at the time, but today, after all I've been through, I do. Displacement is harder than death. I've been forced from my home, stripped of safety, carrying my bag from one destroyed place to another. We endure hunger that eats at our bodies, and a constant fear that drains our minds, and a psychological stress that never stops. It follows us in every breath, every thought, every sound of the night. And then there are the missiles and bombs, the roar as they pass overhead, the whistle tearing through my sky, the dreadful silence before they strike, leaving me to wonder, is it my turn now? Now I know what my mother meant. Death may bring peace, but what I lived through, this hunger, this endless fear, this unrelenting stress, is a pain far beyond death. Through the destruction of vital civilian infrastructure, including hospitals, shelters, schools, food production capacities, and water treatment plants, the Israeli authorities are purposefully and systematically destroying the conditions necessary for Palestinian life in Gaza. On the 25th of August this year, Nasser Hospital was targeted once again in a double airstrike. It's the only partially functioning public hospital in southern Gaza. The attack killed 21 people, including health workers and journalists. One MSF colleague sustained injuries to the side of his chest. Nasser is just one of many hospitals that have been repeatedly hit. Over 1,500 healthcare workers have been killed since October 2023, and hospitals are unable to function under the relentless bombardment. As of the 9th of August, not a single hospital in Gaza is fully functional. Only 18 out of 36 are partially operational. Amongst the humanitarian and healthcare workers killed were Dr.